This video, I'm going to show you the 3 steps to changing your dominant vibration so that you attract money, love, and success. This is the game changer. This is the thing I'm finally going to share, and I'm excited to finally share it with you. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you the 3-step process to changing your dominant vibration. Because whether you're aware of it or not, your dominant vibration is controlling your life. You are experiencing, in reality, a direct reflection of your dominant vibration. And even though there may be times that you intend for something else to happen, you set intentions, you visualize certain things, you go along a certain process, you might find that it always brings you back right to a certain bandwidth, right to a certain type of experience, whether that's having a 9-to-5 job and wanting to do what you love full time, and you find that every time you try to get ahead, it always brings you back. And there are different layers to this, but in this video, I'm going to show you to attract money, love, success. The key is within you of changing your dominant vibration. I did this back in 2012, and even then there's been levels. I realized there's levels to this. The levels are depending on your level of vibration. Now, in many of the videos I've shared it's not mine, but the levels of energy or the scale of consciousness. You'll see emotions such as shame, fear, guilt. You will see that of neutrality, willingness, acceptance. You'll see that of reasoning, of love, of joy, of peace. I've shared it so many times that I just kind of know these things off the top of my head. And you'll notice that right here, your dominant vibration will be within one of these levels of consciousness, within one of these ranges. Yes, you will fluctuate. You think of it like you will have a gravity of a vibration, and then your vibration may go up a little bit, but then normally it'll be brought right back down. And then it may be down for a little bit and then get right back up, right to whatever your dominant vibration is. Your dominant vibration has been set depending on what you repetitively do, what you repetitively think, and how you repetitively feel. These things are on autopilot. So something may have happened in the past that then bumped your vibration down, and then you may have identified with it. Your identity is what keeps you locked into these different frames. My identity for many years was that I'm not worthy. I had an ex-stepmom that was abusive. I wasn't allowed to have my own freedom. I didn't even deserve to have my own freedom. I was working a 9-to-5 job that I hated. And in general, there was a self-image there that was, in general, like I'm not worthy. I was angry about my past, angry about what I went through. And because of that, it kept me within a certain bandwidth. And even though sometimes what I do is I might go do something, I might go smoke a little weed, or I might go drink a little bit, and then, woo, I feel a little bit better. If I just keep doing it, maybe I raise my vibration and I feel better. But what I realized is that that was a crutch. I was using it, it would bring me up a little bit, but the key was when I realized that I wanted to do this and I wanted to let go of having to do anything to raise my vibration other than use my own consciousness. And once I did that, I went so far up, so high vibe, but I went much further up than I was. I started to feel high literally all the time. And I remember walking around my room thinking to myself, will this feeling go away? And it was, my base point was risen. Of course, there's still a range there. There are times I feel frustrated and not positive emotion, but the gravity of my vibration has raised to a point now to where I don't need to smoke. I don't need a drink. I don't need caffeine. You see how much energy I have? I don't do any of that because I allow this energy to flow through. I am becoming more and less, it's almost, there's just a better balance of me being at my core vibration, me doing what I love, and then just allowing that energy to flow through. And I'm going to show you in this video how to do that. But in general, for you to attract money, for you to attract love, for you to attract success, it's about you shifting your level of consciousness. If you shift your level of consciousness, you then experience a new reality because your vibration has then changed. So the key to doing this has to do with understanding your identity, how you identify yourself, and 2 main energy states that I want to share with you. Now, one energy state you'll see as you look at this scale is you'll see the lower vibrational emotions. The lower vibrational emotions are things that have happened to us. There's been a moment something happened, we identified with what happened, and we said, oh, this is who I am. This is what this means. We gave a certain meaning, even if the meaning was given to us by our parents, like, you're meant to be seen and not heard, or the common ones that a lot of people hear. We may then say, I'm not worthy. I'm not meant to speak. I need to be shy. I need to be afraid of being in public situations. All of these things. However, the key to transcending the bottom emotions has to do with feeling empowered by knowing things don't happen to you, things happen for you. This is going to sound a little esoteric, but when you decide to come here and have an earth experience, because you are an eternal spiritual being dreaming right now that you are this little physical body running around, and the reason we do this is so that we can remember who we are. If you knew the whole time that you are a piece of source energy, you might not take this as seriously. Not that you have to take it seriously, but it might not be the same kind of experience. Now, in general, you forget who you are. Then we go around pretending to be these little separate egos, but you, at many levels, have decided the things that you've gone through in your life. There have been painful things you went through. My ex-stepmom, who was abusive mentally, physically, emotionally, I can say, whoop, that happened to me. But at a higher level, I agree to it. I agree to it. That actually led to me going through a spiritual awakening years later. A lot of the most negative things that happen to you will be a blessing in disguise. It'll be something that allows you to develop more character, to develop more growth. There's a broad range of emotions here on earth, and we chose to experience a contrast of it. As bad as it sounds for us to experience the lower vibrations, we came here to experience a little bit of it and to learn how to navigate through it so that we don't have to experience it anymore in the same way. So realize that things don't happen for you. Things don't happen to you. Things happen for you. You agree to it at a certain level. When you realize that, it lets go of so much resistance, because then you could see that you can forgive them, the other people. You can forgive yourself. And you can see how it serves you. You start to change the focus. But in general, there's two main parts I want to talk about when it comes to our dominant vibration. We are either showing up in the world as the cameo in everyone else's movie, or we're showing up as the star of our own movie. Those are the two energy states. The star of our own movie realizes things don't happen to us, things happen for us. We then have our power. We feel powerful as we walk around. We know that, hey, if I want to experience something, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to do what I want. But if we are feeling like we're the cameo in everyone else's movie, we're most likely just in the autopilot mind. We're running around and we're like, hey, can I be in your movie? And if somebody rejects us, we're like, oh, we go get down on ourselves. Hey, can I be in your movie? Can you call the rules? Can you hold the frame in every different area of my life? No, the key is understanding that you are the star of your own movie. Take your star role back. And when you do that, the energy dynamic begins to change. Your dominant vibration begins to change. That's what I did back in 2012. I told myself a story. That story was, I had an abusive stepmom. I went through this. You all know it if you've been watching my videos. I probably sound like a broken record explaining it. But nonetheless, I do, because it's relatable. A lot of people think, oh, I'm some perfect person, some enlightened person because I'm on YouTube. No, I want everyone to know that you can go through this kind of harsh stuff and come out on the other side and become more powerful. And be powerful, not become it, because you already are it, but be more aware of it. So, in general, what happened is you went through these things so that you can then start to take back your star role. And either we're in the autopilot mind being a part of everyone else's movie, or what we're doing is we're the star of our own movie. And when we walk through the world as the star of our own movie, things happen differently. We have a different level of contagious energy. We have better boundaries. We say, I don't choose to experience this, or I do choose to experience this. But in general, realize that the shift is when you become aware of the story you're telling yourself, like I was aware of the story I was telling myself. And then what I did is I realized those things did not happen to me, they happened for me. And then from a higher level of awareness, I was able to see that in a way, we chose it as spiritual beings. We chose it. I chose to have that kind of experience. Because of that, I can then let go of the resistance. If you treat every situation as if you chose it, it'll begin to transform. And that will sound ridiculous to people that have been through way worse things than what I've been through. And I understand that. But the truth is, we are spiritual beings having temporary human experiences, and we chose certain things for our growth. And once we take responsibility in that way, we can then transform it. But as long as we tell ourselves a story that we're not powerful and that this stuff happened to us, we remain in the lower vibrational emotions. What I want to do is I want to say, yo, I know that down there it might be comfortable, might be easier to deflect the energy, but you will feel so much more powerful if you would just take responsibility for it, which simply means the ability to respond and choose your own response. Things do not happen to you, things happen for you, and then you can direct your energy in the way that you want. You can take back the meanings, the story you've been telling yourself. If you figure out the story that you've been telling yourself or the story that you inherited, you can then change your story. But if you're not aware of it, you can't change it. So, before this process, the 3-step process I want to share with you, and now we know the difference in dominant vibration is either chaotic energy, not knowing where to go, not having a gravity to a certain direction, not feeling balanced, it's feeling like things happen to us, and then the other one is things happen for us. I can go into a certain direction. I know and am confident in myself. I'm moving in a certain direction. There's a certain level of gravity there. And the first step to this process is identifying what I call your core vibration. Away from the flimsiness of the everything happens to us, the core vibration is more so understanding, what are you passionate about? Who are you? What is your truth? This is the key, and this is what I did. I got to my core vibration. I love making videos. I love expressing myself. I love being on my own path. I love having that direction. Even before I knew I was making daily videos on YouTube, that was my passion. I was passionate about learning about metaphysics. You might be the same way. You might be watching my videos or other people's videos. You're like, this is what I'm interested in. Everyone has something that they're interested in. And when you start to focus on that, you start to do what you want to do, you start to get and develop your own gravity. And you know this by how you feel. How do you feel when you're doing these passionate things? And depending on how you feel, that's going to determine the kind of experiences that you have, whether that raises your core vibration. So first off, identify your core vibration. Identifying your core vibration is identifying your passion, identifying who you really are, and many times that'll also mean identifying who you are not. When you identify who you're not, you might identify old stories. Old things people told you. You might identify that you're working a job you don't even care about. Identify it, because in the awareness of it, you can then start to gain clarity. So the first step is identifying your core vibration. The second step is about letting go. Now that you know what your core vibration is, let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of people bringing your energy down. Let go and be more protective of your energy. Let go of the lower vibrational emotions by being aware that they actually served you. Lower vibrational emotions really do serve you to stay consistent to your ideal of what you think you need to be protected. Protecting your ego, protecting your sense of self. Your sense of self just may be, some these things happen to me. It might be more of a victim mentality. So because of that mentality, it causes more and more of us to stay consistent. Some people want to stay consistent to their story. They may tell themselves, I always get sick, I always get this, I always get that. And if they were to let that go, they would lose the attention they got when they were sick. They would lose that level of identity. The key is letting go of the old stories that don't serve you. You might have a story that says, I have to work a 9-to-5 job. I can't do what I love. Well, that's not really you. That is something that you probably learned, something probably somebody told you, maybe what your parents told you, and you agreed to it. Life is based on agreement. Something that we agree to be true is what we're going to end up experiencing. If you don't agree with things, you don't allow it in. Somebody tells you, oh, you smell, or something like that. If you reject that and you say, actually, it's you that smell, bruh, then it doesn't come into you. But if you're like, oh, I do, oh my goodness, I really do smell, oh my God, I smell, then you allow it in. But what I'm saying is reality is based on agreement. If you don't allow it in, it won't actually affect you. So the second step to this process is becoming aware of those stories, becoming aware of those thoughts, becoming aware of all of that. Because your dominant vibration is what you think, how you feel, and what you do. You change these 3 things, you change everything. But if you change your identity, that's what controls these 3 things. Change the way you see yourself, not by necessarily piling in on something new, but realize a core vibration is that what you feel, is how you feel when you're doing what you're passionate about. And then let go of the parts of yourself of what you're thinking, feeling, and doing that isn't in alignment with that core vibration. Might be certain TV shows you're watching. It might be certain people that are draining your energy. It might be certain stories you tell yourself. It might be certain activities you do. Be aware of it. And in that awareness is where you can then begin to change. And then the third step to this process is actually very simple. Wire in the new level of being with repetition every single day. This isn't something you do once a week, something you do 2 times a week, this is something you do 3 times a week, not something you do 4 times a week. This is something you do every single day. I decided, and you might know the story, it's February 2017. I was working a 9-to-5 job I did not care for. And I sat down and I decided, you know what? What is the one thing I could do every single day that will change my life the most in a year from now? That one thing for me was to make a video. It was like so it came out of like the side, I could hear this voice. It's like, make a video a day. Video a day. Actually, the voice didn't sound anything like that. The voice is more like, if you make a video a day, your life will change. I was like, thank you, majestic voice. I will do that. Every single day I made a video, no matter what. I brought that frequency into my everyday vibration. And if you do something every single day over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, it begins to compound. That became my dominant vibration. I realized that in order for me to do what I love full time, I have to treat what I love full time as my full time. Regardless of what people thought, regardless of the fact that I only had like 5,000 subs, like, no, I'm still gonna make a daily video no matter what. And I started doing that, and then things started to grow. Your core vibration gets wired in with repetition and by doing it daily. If it's painting, paint every day. You don't gotta paint a whole entire picture every day, but paint part of the picture every day. Get into the vibration of being in your core vibration. And do it every single day, no matter what. You're worth it. You deserve it. Even if that means you got to get up a little bit early, do it for at least an hour a day. Whatever it is, do it every single day. Your life will begin to transform because as you wire in that core frequency with repetition, it becomes who you are. After doing videos for like 2 months straight, I said, you know what? I am a full-time YouTuber. Even though I still go on a 9-to-5 job, I treat my life like I'm a full-time YouTuber. I'm doing what full-time YouTubers do. I get up every day, I make videos, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. Give yourself permission to be in that vibration now. Not giving yourself these rules, but first I have to get a validation from this many number of people, then I need to make this amount of money, then I could get rid of my old job, then I could be a full-time YouTuber. Give yourself permission to be that now. You don't need to have an art gallery studio. You don't need to have billions of people. No, just do it now. Be it now. And eventually, then outer reality begins to change. You see, that's the way reality really changes. You first off be the vibration that you prefer, and then reality changes on the reflection. You don't have to have everything in order to do it, and then you don't have to do it. You just got to be it. And being and having are intertwined with that being anyways. You will be naturally feel inclined to do things when you're in that being vibration, and you will naturally have the things you need when you do it. So change your dominant vibration from a sense of powerlessness to powerfulness, from things happening to you to things happening for you, from you choosing to go in the direction that you want, from you going to the cameo in your old movie to being the star of your own movie. Move in the direction, make the choice that every single day you are going to be in your core vibration. And if you do that, your life will begin to transform in ways you can't even imagine. My life did. I thought it was going to take a year. It took like 3 to 4 months. My life was completely different. So my guess is that it'll do the same thing for you. I've helped many people do this. I know it can work for you. So what do you got to lose? Just trust me. Every single day, be in your core vibration. Do what you love. Become aware of the parts that no longer serve you. Let go of lower vibrational energies keeping you down. Let go of the identity. Realize that anything you let into your life is because you agreed to it. Take responsibility for that. Remember, a responsibility is your ability to respond. That's all it simply is. That as you become aware of that, you start to gain your power back. So, something I have right down below is a meditation that will help you to raise your vibrational set point. Listen to it for 21 days. I think it will transform your life. It'll be right there. Read the comments to see what is possible. Also, if you haven't seen already or knew this, this is how it works. YouTube will only show you daily videos if you hit the notification bell. So I got a lot more good stuff coming. If you like this video, I got a lot more like this coming. Hit the notification bell, subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, peace, much love.